If you're an immigrant looking to make a new life in Canada, you're probably no stranger to the challenges of the permanent residency application process. It can be tough to navigate, with so many requirements and steps to follow. But what if I told you there's a viable option that can make your journey a whole lot smoother? The Personal Support Worker Pathway is here, and it's a game changer. Today, I'll walk you through the main PR pathways available for PSWs. Let's get into it. For many immigrants, the PR application process is a source of stress and uncertainty. You've got to deal with complex paperwork, long wait times, and the constant worry of meeting eligibility requirements. It's not uncommon for people to feel overwhelmed and unsure of where to start. And then there are the eligibility requirements themselves. It's easy to get lost in the sea of rules and regulations. But here's the thing, it's not just about meeting the requirements. You've also got to consider the point system and how you're going to stand out from the crowd. And let's not forget about the language proficiency tests. They can be a major hurdle for a lot of people. It's enough to make you wonder if it's all worth it. The struggles are real, but the good news is that there are people who have been in your shoes and have come out on top. So, what's the alternative? How can you make your PR journey less stressful and more successful? That's where the Personal Support Worker Pathway comes in. First, let's look at the Home Care Worker Immigration Pilots, recently relaunched in March 2025. This is a federal immigration program designed specifically for workers like PSWs. These 5-year pilots allow qualified caregivers and their families to come to Canada with a direct route to PR. Here's what you need: a full-time, non-seasonal job offer from a Canadian employer, CLB4 in English or French, that's your language test scores, and at least 1 year of post-secondary education. Applications are processed within 6 months, making this one of the fastest PR routes. If you qualify, you'll get an open work permit, meaning you can come to Canada and start working. After you complete 24 months of work as a personal support worker, you can apply for permanent residency. One thing to remember, there's a cap on how many applications they accept each year, so apply early. You may watch my previous video in which I gave a detailed explanation of this pathway. See link on top right corner of the screen. If you already work as a PSW in Canada on a valid work permit and accumulate at least 1 year of skilled work experience, you might qualify under Express Entry Canadian Experience Class, CEC. However, PSW roles are often considered lower skilled under not TEER4, so CEC is trickier unless the job is reclassified. Another option is the Provincial Nominee Programs, or PNPs. Some provinces in Canada, like Ontario, Nova Scotia, and Manitoba, are actively looking for PSWs. If you have a job offer from an employer in one of these provinces, you could get nominated for PR. For example, in Ontario, there's the in-demand skills stream and the requirements are as follows. Full-time job offer in Ontario as a PSW, 9 months of Ontario work experience in the last 18 months and equivalent of Canadian high school diploma. A successful applicant gets an Ontario nomination, 600 CRS points, to secure an express entry ITA doc. In Nova Scotia, they have the occupations in demand stream. Each program has slightly different requirements, but usually you'll need a valid job offer, basic language skills, and a willingness to live and work in that province. Tip: check out these PNPs too. BC Tech Pilot, Saskatchewan Occupations in Demand, Alberta Express Entry Stream. Many list PSW under intermediate skills. Finally, there's the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot, RNIP. If you work in smaller communities like Sudbury, Timmins, or Thunder Bay, you could qualify for PR much faster. You'll need a job offer from an approved employer in one of those communities, and they love to hire PSWs. So, quick recap: Home Support Worker Pilot, Provincial Nominee Programs, Canadian Experience Class, sometimes, and the Rural and Northern Immigration Pilot. Those are your 4 main PR pathways as a PSW in Canada. Which one fits your profile? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notification for more insider tips on healthcare careers in Canada. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.